Hey guys, so check this out. So Virgin Galactic's stock price is doing quite well today. It's above the support level of $25 and we're up about 4%. So I'm going to tell you why we're seeing this increase, and it's not because of Virgin Galactic. It's actually a potentially very exciting opportunity for us to invest in, and that's why I'm going to jump into it. It's actually Virgin Orbit. So this is a very good article and I'm going to go into the good stuff because there's plenty of it. Branson's Virgin Orbit to go public through a SPAC at $3.7 billion valuation. So as some of you might know, Virgin Orbit is Virgin Galactic's sister company, and they work in very similar ways. They both have motherships which both send rockets into an altitude of around 40 to 50,000 feet, and then they release these rockets. Virgin Galactic releases a rocket called VSS Unity, which sends passengers into space, whereas the Virgin Orbit mothership releases a rocket called Launcher 1, which actually releases satellites into suborbit, and the satellites are used for internet connectivity, so that's the kind of field that they're in rather than the space tourism that Virgin Galactic are in. So as you can see, they're very similar companies, but potentially a very exciting opportunity for us as investors, which is why I'm going to go through it today. First of all, for you to know, the actual SPAC that Virgin Orbit will be merging with is called Next Gen Acquisition Corp 2. So the ticker symbol for this is NGCA, and as you can see, the stock price is up very slightly. We had a jump of about 2% after the announcement of this merger, so still very cheap at the moment. I personally think that this could be a very good investment, similar to how Virgin Galactic has been a great investment for a lot of people. So let's jump into why this is a good investment. And first of all, Richard Branson has invested a lot of money, so this is what he has to say. Quote, "I certainly wouldn't have invested $1 billion if I wasn't extremely confident, and we've had a great experience with SPACs, and I'm hoping that we'll have the same experience with Virgin Orbit," end quote. So he's personally very bullish on this. The next thing is we've got some good people leading the actual merger. So we've got George Mattson, who is previously, he co-led the Goldman Sachs Global Industrials Group. And we've also got former Perkin-Elmer chairman and CEO Gregory Sum. So we've got some decent people, and that's very important, especially when SPACs have been a massive craze recently. So some of them have been a bit fishy, but Virgin Orbit, hopefully they know what they're doing. They've got some decent people who will be conducting the merger, so hopefully that's good for us. The next thing is we're going to raise a lot of money. So the deal is expected to raise $483 million, so almost $500 million for Virgin Orbit. And if you remember, Virgin Galactic's capital is just over $1 billion. So actually raising $483 million is a very significant amount of money. And that includes $100 million in pipe round, or what you call private investment in public equity. So basically that's where you got private investors like Boeing are quite heavily invested in Virgin Orbit, and you've also got private equity firms. These include things like AE Industrial Partners. So as I said earlier, Richard Branson's heavily invested in Virgin Orbit. We've also got Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund, Mubadala. So these guys know that there's something in the future of the internet connectivity, satellites, suborbital satellites, similar to what SpaceX are doing. They are planning to send satellites into suborbit, and I think this is a ripe and ready field to go into. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, in terms of how the company will send satellites into space, it will use the horizontal takeoff and landing method compared to other companies like Rocket Lab, Astra, SpaceX, which will use vertical landing and takeoff. And as we know, Virgin Galactic have demonstrated the benefits of using a horizontal landing and takeoff, one of which is that it's just easier to find airports that can actually accommodate horizontal landing and takeoff, such as the Cornwall airport. So good news from that point of view. So check this out. We basically released the Launcher 1 rocket at 45,000 feet just before they fire the engine and accelerate into space. Very similar to Virgin Galactic. And they will carry satellites which weigh up to 500 kilograms. So we call them small, but actually they're quite heavy. And as some of you might know, we've had 2 successful launches so far. We've had 1 successful launch in January and the 2nd successful launch in June. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. So in terms of the financials, so the actual company aims to be profitable on a EBITDA basis by 2024. So that's only in about 3 years time. And they're saying that they've got $300 million in terms of active contracts and another $2.3 billion in terms of potential contracts. So what they call identified sales opportunities currently being pursued. And what's really exciting is the CEO of Virgin Orbit, so Dan Hart, told CNBC that the company's core rocket business will be growing to about 18 launches by 2023. Now, 18 launches might not sound like a lot by itself, but if you imagine that we've had 2 launches this year, and we are likely to increase to 18 launches, that's a 9x increase in just 2 or 3 years, actually 2 years. So it's a significant increase. That's a 900% increase in the amount of flights in 2 years. So in terms of revenue, at the moment we're expecting to generate about $15 million of revenue this year in 2021, but in just 5 years time we're expected to generate a revenue of $2.1 billion in revenue. That's huge amount of revenue. So obviously it's still very risky to invest in a company so early because we're still expected to have a loss of about $156 million, but as you can see, the potential is there in terms of space industry and in terms of the internet connectivity industry. So very good numbers, very good potential, and this is why we've seen an increase in the Virgin Galactic stock price. But it's not just about Virgin Galactic. I think we've got ourselves a potentially great investment in the near future. So I'm very excited to hear more about this SPAC and what's going on. I'm going to follow it quite closely, so if there's anything exciting I will update you guys. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you could smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for future updates. Let me know your thoughts about Virgin Orbit in the comments section down below. Are you going to purchase Next Generation Acquisition Corp 2 stock? And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.